Hello y'all, before this video begins, I would like to announce I am planning to give away my alt account that is level 100 in Tower Defense Simulator. So if you would like to enter, in the description I added a Google form for you to place in some info. If you don't have a Google account, you can also comment down your Discord user tag. Be sure to also add me on Discord in case any DM problem happens. And yeah, enjoy the video. Also, this giveaway ends in 6 days.
So have you ever watched this guy? He made a bunch of videos where he made a noob account and grind from level 0 and the goal is level 100. Well, that is what this video and the next 7 episodes will be about. Here I am making the noob account, and bam, it is created. The rules is that I cannot use any VIP link so that I can try and mimic anyone who starts playing TDS but has no Robu. And believe it or not, you can still reach level 100 very quickly, as you will see in the series. So I start off making the account itself, naming it some account Z. And then when I joined the game I only had 2 towers, Scout and Sniper. These 2 towers may start off bad, but they must be used if you want to level up. It is very important to note that in this episode I level up from level 0-13, and quite fast too, with just 2 triumphs and 7 losses, because the first few levels require not much HP and can be done just by playing games where you spam scouts and snipers in molten mode. Here's an example. In this game, for the most part, one place a bunch of LVL0 scouts, and then upgrade them to LVL2-3, and then spam LVL3 scouts as well as some snipers if I feel like it, and then max those scouts and just carry to see how long these can get to. You will not reach wave 40, but by dying around wave 30, or say wave 30-33, you are getting 241-285 coins a match within 13 minutes or less. And since the July 1st update, thoughts most likely decreased to around 10 minutes, meaning in an hour you can get at least 964 coins an hour, and at most 1425 coins an hour, which is quite good for a level 0. And that is basically what I kept doing for the rest of this episode. And if you look at the combined video to missteps of episode 1, it took me 2 hours and 50 minutes to reach this far, meaning in just this amount of time I am 12% there. But do remember that every level increases, and that if I did this when I am level 70 I would be only be leveling up by half a level or at most a level. So anyways, while using this strategy I managed to buy 3 other towers, and if you wanna follow what I do I recommend you also follow what I do, cause when I did this I tried to grind it the fastest way possible without wasting time buying useless towers like the freezer or Outtro, which back when I was a noob I thought was useful. So the 3 towers were the Demoman, Farm and Soldier. And I bought those in the said order. Now you may be wondering, what did I do to grind after buying the demo? Well, looking at the stats, demo does better than sniper in terms of Ferret. However, the sniper does better DPS by 2. Well, believe it or not, I ended up not using him much at all, even though John Roblox has said that Demoman is so good. The only good thing for having Demoman now would be for its splash damage, which is somewhat useful. But in the long run nothing really changes and the strat stays the same. After getting the farm, the strat did slightly help me get further to wave 34, which gives me 300 coins. But it's still around the same hourly rate, and so, in the next episode I will proceed to reach level 26 and buy a bunch of good towers that helped me reach wave 40 and improve my grind strat so that I can get 1500 coins an hour. And it's only the 2nd episode. Also, I am do this at the end of every episode where I recap everything I did within the episode. Made the account, played a duo molten game and reached wave 26. Then I did a solo molten match and died at wave 33. I bought the moment and went into a solo molten match and died at wave 30. I then did a duo molten match and died at wave 40. I did a solo molten match and died at wave 31. Did a solo molten match in Sky Islands and died at wave 31. Did a duo molten match with a guy who had accelerator and won. Did a solo molten match and died at wave 30. Finally reached level 10, bought the farm tower. Did a solo molten match in Fungi Island and reached wave 34. I then bought the soldier tower, and finally went into a duo molten mode match and won that game as well. That is all for episode 1, and see you for the next episode. Welcome back to the level 0-100 series, which is highly inspired by this guy. So last time we left off with an hourly grind strat at 900 to 1200-ish coins an hour. The towers I got so far are Scout, Sniper, Farm, Demoman and Soldier. So you may be wondering which of those towers that I recently bought will be the most effective, and it is the Soldier and Farm. These two actually help out a lot, because out of every tower I have, Soldier grants the greatest DPS and Farm just makes the game so much easier to survive in. Haha. For the most part with these new towers I used the same Scout and Farm strategy I did from last time for just the early game steps. But around wave 13 to 16, instead of spamming Scouts like I did last time, this time I am spamming Soldiers, using for the most part 8 level 3 farms. But slowly maxing those farms whilst spamming Soldiers to level 3 or max. I do eventually max all my farms, and whenever the placement limit hits you simply sell a farm in place for the Soldier. This actually got me all the way to wave 40, which means my new grinding strat is improved by a lot. Just like last time, you will not win Molten. Soldier spam is just enough. So instead, if I were you, I would start selling all my troops in wave 39 when Molten Titans appears and skip the wave immediately so that you can lose very fast in wave 40 and get 400 coins within less than 20 minutes. This means you get 1200 coins an hour, which is 3 games an hour, assuming you get lucky getting solo matches in the hour. And since this video was taken in May 2022, and the July 4th update came out, this means that using the same strat you can get a way faster time than before by 80 seconds. This means you can get up to 1600 coins an hour, which is 4 games an hour. So I basically kept doing this for a few games until I bought my next tower, the Ace Pilot, and this is one of the first good towers I have bought. Good in the sense it is very used even when you are a level 400, cause its high DPS and usefulness. For you this is like getting an accelerator, since an Ace Pilot does 200 DPS, which is half of Excel's DPS in a way. And using the Ace Pilot will make your run not RNG based, meaning you do not have to worry about the abnormal boss spam on wave 16 and so on, because you will be able to get 2 level 4 aces or a max ace or both by wave 16. On top of that, using the Ace Pilot and replacing it with the Sniper actually lets you win solo Molten mode, which gives you 500 coins. The problem, however, is that you are still missing a few good towers that can make you defeat Molten Boss very quickly, so that it is actually worth beating Molten Boss, which will allow your hourly rate to increase. Like in this game I did solo Molten, but it took 21 minutes and a majority of that time was because of Molten Boss. That boss battle took me 4 minutes. And if I were to just try and grind using this strategy anyways, the grind strat would be decreased to around 1500 coins an hour rather than 1600. Even if you count the July 1st update, you are still getting a slow time and a bad grinding strategy, and I highly do not recommend using any solo Molten grind strat that makes you beat the Molten boss unless you defeat him within a minute or two. and beating him within a minute or two either requires the accelerator or requires a good low-level loadout that usually involves the infamous Commander and DJ support towers, which by the way, are among the next few towers I will be trying to get. I first get the Commander, which is 3,500 coins in the shop, which using the current and second grind strat should take about 3 hours to get and 9 games. You should definitely get the Commander next, because Commander is a very good tower, and you will definitely use it from now on without question. Once you buy it like I do, you should replace the Demoman or Scout for the Commander, and as for the grind strat, which will be updated once more, this time you should be start placing Commanders sometime before a wave 16. Now let me tell you this. The Commander has an ability called Call to Arms, which increases all towers to rare it by a total of 55% every time this buff is used. The ability lasts for 20 seconds with a cooldown for 30 seconds, meaning at some point during the game you must have at least 3 LVL2 Commanders so that the buff remains. You can also check out the video in the description called How to Chain Call to Arms, as this is very important, and when you try other challenges like Hardcore mode or Solo Fallen mode, Polluted Wastelands Fallen mode, whenever that comes back, which is soon, you may be the one asked to use the Commander and to chain it, as you can easily lose games just by not chaining the Commander. And when I say chain, I mean to consistently use Commander ability with 3 Commanders. Anyways, so yes, as I was saying, the new grind strat is basically to have at least a level 2 Commander by wave 16 for emergencies, and then having 3 max Commanders before wave 32. Usually I would only max them at wave 36, but a max level Commander with Call to Arms is way different from a Commander with Call to Arms at level 2. Like I have always seen the towers shredding, or even spawn killing, whenever using a max Call to Arms against a level 2 Call to Arms where it is not as fast. So now my next tower will be the DJ, and by the way, this is among a list of towers I am trying to get, which are helpful if you obtain them in this order. Any other tower not on the list means you should not buy it until you just have nothing else to buy, or when the tower may be needed for an event, which is a rare occasion. For example of this would be Hidden Wave, which is removed. It may require the Electro Tower, but the Electro Tower is not on the list. Only unless Hidden Wave is back and you really want to beat it for the fun. Now before I move on to the next grind strat, I actually tried to solo Fallen mode using this loadout, and believe it or not, it can get to wave 39, which gives you 573 coins in less than 17 minutes. Also known as 15 minutes now that it passed the July 4th update, which means at least 17-19 coins an hour. It is a small improvement by 100 coins, and I will admit I would rather grind solo Molten than this, because Fallen mode requires you to really think, while in Molten mode it is actually very easy and you do not think at all if you are about to lose, unlike the way it is in Fallen mode. Fallen mode is the tank, boomers, templars, summoner bosses, fallen heroes. All these are a pain, and I think you should actually just keep doing the latest solo Molten strategy I have told you on just now. Anyways, moving on to the next strategy, the DJ booth will be your next tower, as it costs 4,000 coins, which is 3 to 4 hours of grinding using the latest strategy. This DJ, which replaces your last trash tower known as the Scout, is very close to you finishing your very first clean and pro loadout. In fact, this loadout is already quite good, but the next tower we will be trying to get that replaces the soldier will finally mean you have a good worthy pro loadout. Now you may be wondering, what is the new strategy? Well, now you will be trying to get a level 3 DJ by wave 13. After getting 8 level 3 farms, and then you will be start to max the farms until the wave 16, where on wave 16 you max the ace pilot. Meaning now instead of the optional choice of having 1 ace or 2 aces, you should really be getting just 1 ace pilot, cause if the ace can defeat mysteries quickly it's better. Then you would max a few more farms before placing a level 2 commander. By wave 20 you begin to use this pattern. Place a level 4 ace pilot. During the intermission in between waves farm whatever way you can. Repeat this pattern until you finally have max all farms. Then proceed to max DJ booth. And then just do any of the following. Place the other level 2 commanders and chain. Spam max level ace pilots until you reach the placement limit. And remember, no matter what, you will have at least 3 commanders at max before wave 36 or whenever you hit the placement limit for ace pilots. After the ace and commanders, you're basically spamming max soldiers like there is no tomorrow. If you reached the 40 tower placement limit, be sure to sell farms for the rest of the soldiers. And then you are good to go. Doing this got me 500 coins in 15 minutes, which can now get you 500 coins in way less than that, by hopefully 2 minutes, which means this new grind strategy can get you up to 2000 coins an hour. By now you are probably wondering, am I trying to be grinding for XPS or coins? For what I did in the series, I was first trying to get all the needed towers before finally just grinding XP. And fun fact, you should be at least halfway in getting the important towers. For the most part, all that is left is minigunner, accelerator, ranger, medics, and military base. The minigunner because it has very high DPS and will improve the strategy. The military base because it is very reliable, but you will only use it for hardcore mode solo grinding XP strategies, and trust me, hardcore gives you a lot of XP that you will be leveling up way faster than before. But hardcore requires you to be a level 50, so sadly we are not there yet. Accelerator is there because it is just such a good tower in general, and why wouldn't you get it, especially if you want to beat hardcore mode. Medic for the sake of hardcore mode. Ranger is also for hardcore mode. As you can see, most of these towers, if not all, are meant for hardcore strategies, as these towers all play an important aspect to the mode. Ranger is meant to defeat lead balloons and are the first good towers you get in the game. Minigunner is also essential to defeat hidden bosses early on in the game. Medics are essential to avoid cleanse the towers of the stuns. Military base is meant for early game hidden protection and lead defense. And of course, who does not want Excel? Anyways, back to the grinding. I basically kept using the same strategy I mentioned earlier until I got the minigunner, which costs 5,000 coins in the shop. The minigunner is the second pro tower you will buy. But it is the end of episode 2. As usual, I will recapping every match I did in episode 2. Did a solo molten mode match and died at wave 40. Died at wave 40 again. Died at wave 17 this time. Defeated wave 30 in normal mode. Won wave 40 molten. Lost wave 40 molten. Lost wave 40 molten again. Won wave 40 molten. Won wave 40 molten again. Lost wave 40 fallen mode. Lost wave 40 molten again. Won wave 40 molten again. Lost wave 40 molten again. Won wave 40 molten again. Lost wave 30 fallen mode. Lost wave 31 fallen mode. Won wave 40 molten again. Lost at wave 22 molten mode. Lost at wave 31 fallen. Won wave 40 molten again. Lost wave 39 fallen mode. Won wave 40 molten again. Lost wave 40 fallen. Won wave 40 molten again. Won wave 40 molten again. Won wave 40 molten again. Lost at wave 40 fallen. Won wave 40 molten again. Won wave 40 molten again. Lost wave 31 fallen mode. And finally bought the minigunner. Thanks for watching and see you next episode. Hello and welcome back to the third episode of Noob to Pro in Tower Defense Simulator. Today I have done so many interesting things, which are solo fallen mode win, solo molten mode badlands win, getting the crook boss, attempting to see if crook boss rather than ace pilot can improve the strategy, beating the Easter event for this year, and my best speedrun of the new account yet of 14 minutes and 49 seconds. My attempt to solo Fallen mode in Dead Ahead, the third hardest map, and of course a recap of every single match I did in this episode. Before I get to those, I would like to quickly mention that I did not get any new towers in the shop, as when I was recording this the Easter 2022 event came out, and I wanted to use this to grind XP to level up quickly. Although the XP you get is not as different compared to Molten Mode solos, it is at least more than Molten Modes, and I was really just having some fun. Now let us begin with everything I have mentioned earlier. The first thing I did is solo Molten Mode using the new loadout, as I have not gone here yet. The strategy can be done like yesterday's video, but simply replacing soldier to minigunner. I got 15 minutes, which is weird as I thought I would at least get a minute faster, but then I realized that no matter what, a lot of waves has to be the same amount of time no matter the DPS towers you got. An example of this is wave 37. On wave 37 enemies will still spawn after 53 seconds on the clock. This means that even if you have accelerator, the enemy will not show up until after the skip graphical user interface shows up, and therefore no matter what, wave 37 will have to last for 25 seconds in all speedruns. And this is the case for a lot of the waves in Molten Mode, which is why no matter what you will end up getting around 15 minutes or so, which should be around 13 minutes post July 4th update. This is the upsetting part, that it seems that the highest hourly rate you can get in TDS is 2,000 coins an hour, accounting the fact you must rejoin lobbies, find elevators, which was also sort of why I decided to not do a lot of solo Moltens in this episode, and do more of the Easter event whilst trying to do those various challenges I have mentioned earlier. Now there are world records of solo Molten speedruns that got up to 11 minutes pre-July 4th update. You may be wondering how. Well, that is because of early game. Yes, early game waves must be dealt with quickly, as those are the only waves unaffected by the wave 37 situation because of the fact that no enemies spawn after the skip graphical user interface shows up for those early waves. Sadly, I have never tried this, but have recently seen these videos made by Encrypted that seems to show you can actually get a really fast time without special towers. I thought it was impossible, but I am now wrong. Back then though, this still means your hourly rate is 2,000 coins an hour. But fortunately post July 4th update it might mean so you can get around 11 minutes time or so, and that might even mean the new hourly rate is 2,500 coins an hour. At this stage, if you do this for 10 hours every day, within 2 days you can get a golden crate, and in 12 days you can already get all gold towers. The best thing about this is that you can get the gold scout, which might improve the strategy, or just make it easier to follow, as the shotgunner strategy does require you to set shotgunners to last, and then back to first, and a bunch of confusing steps. So yes, I guess that is very good news, but I never did this, so you will not see me try this strategy at all in the series. Anyways, enough about that. Moving on to the fact I managed to solo Molten Mode on Badlands. I don't know why I found this cool, but I just did, ha 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 ha. The strategy is similar to the speedrun strats I have done in previous episodes. In fact, for the most part it is the same, but at times I would add a few extra ace pilots earlier than usual, delaying my farming, just to be extra safe, since this is the hardest map in Tower Defense Simulator, and also because adding more defense speeds up the timer. You may even notice I finished farming on wave 28, but in the previous episodes I have shown that I usually finish way earlier than this. So since the strat is basically the same, I would like to tell you that placement is important, and in dual lane maps the enemies do not duplicate unlike previous TDS, but instead they split up. So you still get one Molten Boss, Grave Digger, Fallen King in this. Because of this, you should place all your towers in the middle, If you want to attempt this challenge, make sure to place your first ace pilots correctly so that the blue circle touches the path. DJ and commander simply should just be near the aces, probably the center is good. Last important note, but you may notice most of the minis are actually towards the end on the cave side where Molten Boss will spawn. And yes, this is to defeat the Molten Boss quicker. However, do not forget to place at least 3 ace pilots that should be placed on the train side, because that side could still cause trouble. Same with a few minis on that side, I placed 4 at the end of the train path. Other than that, that is how I soloed Molten mode in Badlands. Next I went on to solo Fallen mode. Portland is a good map to try this in, since I wanted it. So what I did was basically like this. Place a level 2 ace pilot, farm until the end of wave 6, save and get a level 3 ace pilot, keep farming until the end of wave 11 or 12 to get a level 4 ace, so that you can deal with hiddens. I also placed a level 3 DJ and another level 4 ace right after. I max a farm before maxing an ace pilot before maxing a farm before maxing other ace pilot. Then I basically did a pattern where I would place a max ace pilot before maxing a farm and repeat. I would like to go full detail, but I also have made a tutorial video on this very footage, so if I were you I would go find it in the description, it's a link, and just watch the tutorial video. Anyways, this proves that you can solo Fallen at quite a relatively young level. So moving on to the next part of this episode was me getting the Crook Boss. And I decided to try replacing the Crook Boss with the Minigunner and see if I can get a faster time. I ended up basically getting the same time as before, but honestly it would not change much since Egripted literally made a strategy that is way better than mine. The difference I did was just getting a Crook Boss, upgrading it to level 3 while farming before wave 10, getting 8 level 3 farms, spamming level 3 Crook Boss, get a level 3 DJ booth and level 2 commanders, max a few farms whilst occasionally max Crook Bosses. After maxing farms and DJ it is basically spam max minis, max everything till you win. So moving on to the next part of episode 3 is the duck hunt. This was my favorite part just cause it was different and new, not the same Molten match I have been doing 3 billion times. I will not exactly explain what we did to win as this was actually my first attempt at the duck hunt, and because of that I could not really tell what was going on. If you wanna skip the duck hunt gameplay, skip to the timestamp shown on screen. So that is fun, and I even got a badge from it. Moving on to the next part, I tried to solo Fallen. Long story short, never bring ace pilots to a map without circles, as it won't work and you will die on wave 10. Now to the last part of the episode. My best solo Molten Mode match of 14 minutes and 49 seconds. I would like to explain what I did, but I actually will not, due to the fact that once again, Egg made a way better strategy, so instead just enjoy the gameplay of this. And that was that. Now to recap all the matches I have done. Solo Molten Win, Wave 40 Molten Win, Solo Molten Win Badlands, Fallen Mode Wave 40 Lost, Solo Fallen Win, Wave 40 Molten Win again, Molten Triumph, Molten Triumph, Molten Triumph, Fallen Lost, Fallen Wave 22 Lost, Fallen Lost, Molten Triumph, Molten Triumph, Molten Triumph, Fallen Win, Molten Triumph, Molten Triumph, Molten Triumph, Molten Triumph, Spring Event Triumph, and reached level 38. See you on the next episode. Bye. Hello everyone and welcome back to the 4th episode of Noob to Pro in Tower Defense Simulator. Now you might think I have done a lot in this episode, but actually no, ha 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 ha. I only have 4 things for you in this episode. Fallen Badlands attempt, more Duck Hunt gameplay, buying the new Ranger Tower, reaching level 50, claiming the turret, and the usual recaps. If you look at the screenshot where I took all the raw footage and combined it in one, the entirety of episode 4 lasts for 18 hours and 11 minutes. Starting off with the first part is Fallen Mode Badlands attempt. But because everyone had noob towers, we lost at wave 16. Moving on, I finally managed to buy the Ranger after a bit of grinding. He is a decent tower, was really good before the March update where they nerfed the commander. Now he is just meh and is basically needed for lead balloons in hardcore mode, but I decided to mainly use him in the Duck Hunt games, because setting Rangers to strongest on the final wave sort of helps a lot. Also because of their high range and kill the enemies way earlier than usual. And he is just cool to use. And besides that, the main reason I grinded a lot of Duck Hunts in this episode was due to the fact it was an event and I just thought it sounded cool, ha 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 ha. Enjoy some Duck Hunt gameplay. If you wanna move on to the next session, the timestamps are in the description. next is the fact I had to finish this one fallen game to reach level 50, so that I could claim the turret tower.
1 hour later.
And boom, the turret is now mine, ha 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 ha. So you might notice that I now have access to hardcore elevators, and yes, I did do a lot of hardcore solo grinding, because you can get all the way up to 66 XP when reaching wave 22 in 7 minutes. Which is almost the same as a molten match that usually takes twice the amount of time. Will I go over the grinding strat I did here? Yes, however I will not go over them in this episode, but in the next episode. Now on the final part of the episode, the part where I recap all the matches I did. 1 wave 40 molten, 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 lost wave 16 fallens, 1 duck event, lost duck event wave 12, 1 duck event, lost duck event wave 11, lost duck event wave 14, 1 duck event, lost duck event wave 11, lost duck event wave 13, lost duck event wave 10, lost fallen wave 15, 1 duck event, lost duck event wave 11, lost duck event wave 7, 1 wave 40 molten, 1 wave 40 molten, 1 wave 40 molten, 1 wave 40 molten, lost duck event wave 11, 1 wave 40 molten, 1 wave 40 molten, 1 wave 40 molten, lost duck event wave 5, lost fallen wave 40, 1 wave 40 molten, lost fallen wave 31, 1 wave 40 molten, 1 fallen mode, lost fallen wave 40, lost fallen wave 40, 1 molten mode, lost fallen wave 22, 1 molten mode, 1 molten mode, lost duck event wave 19, 1 molten mode, 1 molten mode, 1 molten mode, 1 molten mode, lost fallen wave 40, 1 molten mode, 1 molten mode, lost fallen wave 40, 1 fallen mode, 1 molten mode, lost fallen wave 40, lost fallen wave 31, 1 fallen mode, lost hardcore wave 22, lost hardcore wave 23, lost hardcore wave 22, lost hardcore wave 22, lost hardcore wave 22, lost hardcore wave 21, lost hardcore wave 22, lost hardcore wave 22, lost duck event wave 11, lost hardcore wave 22, 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 lost hardcore wave 22. Wow, look, this guy looks just like that dude that inspired me to make this series. Hello Yale, welcome to the 5th episode of Noob to Pro in Tower Defense Simulator. Today I have a few interesting topics to discuss, but actually it is not that much. You may be wondering why lately there just has not been much coverage in the episodes. It's because of the fact the first 3 episodes already explained almost everything important, considering the fact you are basically just grinding to level 100, and no matter what with the supply of towers we have, we can never have a better hourly rate than 2000 coins per hour. But starting from this episode I won't be grinding coins as much as before, but rather grinding hardcore gems and XP, as grinding in hardcore is really good for XP. Winning hardcore mode gives you 187 XP and 250 gems, aka a lot, and you can finish hardcore mode in 30 minutes, which is like 500 gems an hour. So for the most part this episode is showing you 2 different ways to grind in hardcore solo for gems and XP. This is really good if you wanna level up quickly to level 100 whilst also getting gems for the epic accelerator. The first strategy is very simple to follow and I do this strategy a lot. This strategy does work in all maps just like my molten solo grinding strat also works in all maps. I have done it in all maps, and I will show you me doing it in all maps. But let me quickly explain the strategy. Simple. Place 2 level 2 ace pilots, 5 level 2 military bases, upgrade both ace pilots to level 3, and from here on you can only for the most part wait until you die, or better yet, sell all your towers at the beginning of wave 21 so that you can lose faster than usual on the next wave. And yes, you must skip all waves immediately. And yes, skipping all waves immediately is the same for molten solo grinding strategies. Now this was me doing it in a wrecked battlefield. Now I will show you me doing it in all of the other maps. Now I will show you the next strategy, and this strategy is made by Money. This is the steps. Place a level 2 ace pilot. Place 4 level 2 farms. Place a level 2 sniper in this center cliff and make sure it can cover a lot. Place a level 1 farm. Place a level 2 sniper. Place a level 2 ace pilot. Place a level 2 sniper. Skip wave 13 and upgrade level 2 farm to level 3. Skip wave 14 and upgrade 2 snipers to level 3. Upgrade a farm to level 3. Upgrade a sniper to level 3. Upgrade 2 level 2 farms to level 3. Place 4 level 3 snipers. Place a level 0 DJ before placing the level 1 commander. Upgrade the DJ to level 2 before upgrading commander to level 2. And use call to arms for shadow boss. Place 2 level 3 snipers and finally die on wave 26 without selling towers. This gives you 78 XP in less than 11 minutes. Which gives you 117 XP on Fridays, because every Friday in TDS you get 1.5 times more XP than usual. Well, that is really all I did in this episode. It was to use those grinding strategies to further my levels. I managed to get up to level 65 in this episode. Now to recap all the matches I have done. Lost Wave 40 Fallen. Lost Hardcore Wave 22. Lost Hardcore Wave 22. Lost Hardcore Wave 22. Lost Hardcore Wave 21. Lost Hardcore Wave 21. Lost Hardcore Wave 22. 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 Lost Hardcore Wave 18. Lost Hardcore Wave 22. Lost Hardcore Wave 24. Lost Hardcore Wave 22. Lost Hardcore Wave 15. Lost Hardcore Wave 22. Lost Hardcore Wave 22. Lost Hardcore Wave 20. Lost Hardcore Wave 21. Lost Hardcore Wave 22. Lost Hardcore Wave 22. Lost Hardcore Wave 22. Lost Hardcore Wave 15. Lost Hardcore Wave 26. Lost Hardcore Wave 22. Lost Hardcore Wave 26. Lost Hardcore Wave 8. Lost Hardcore Wave 11. Lost Hardcore Wave 12. Lost Hardcore Wave 11. Lost Hardcore Wave 15. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Peace and see you next episode. Welcome to the 6th episode of Noob to Pro in Tower Defense Simulator. In this episode I have just 2 interesting things I have done before reaching level 79. For the most part though, I mainly just did a lot of grinding. So first off, I will admit a lot of the times in these grindings I have not exactly been grinding properly. Sometimes I do not even do anything and straight up lose the game. This is because I started to lose a lot of motivation. Anyways, the other good news is the fact after a lot of grindings I finally managed to buy the accelerator. Which in me and a lot of others' opinion is the best tower in the game. So enjoy some gameplay before I manage to buy the accelerator. yes, sometimes I did modify the strat very little, but in the end it's the same. It is time to buy the accelerator, and bam. Now to use it in a duck hunt game. Enjoy a bit of gameplay. Alright, time for the usual recap of all matches. Lost Duck Hunt Event, Lost Duck Hunt Event, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, Lost Hardcore Wave 5, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, 1 Molten Mode, 1 Fallen Mode, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, Lost Duck Hunt, 1 Duck Hunt, 1 Molten Mode, Lost Hardcore Wave 13, Lost Hardcore Wave 20, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, Lost Hardcore Wave 15, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, Lost Duck Hunt Event, 1 Fallen Mode, 1 Fallen Mode, 1 Fallen Mode, Lost Hardcore Wave 6, 1 Fallen Mode, 1 Fallen Mode, 1 Duck Hunt, 1 Duck Hunt, 1 Duck Hunt, Lost Duck Hunt, Lost Duck Hunt, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, Lost Hardcore Wave 15, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, 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 Lost Hardcore Wave 19, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, Lost Hardcore Wave 20, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, Lost Hardcore Wave 15, Lost Hardcore Wave 19, Lost Hardcore Wave 19, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, 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 1 Duck Hunt, disconnected from Hardcore, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, 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 Lost Hardcore Wave 24, Lost Hardcore Wave 22, 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 Lost Hardcore Wave 24, Lost Hardcore Wave 21, Lost Hardcore Wave 24, Lost Duck Hunt, Lost Duck Hunt, Lost Duck Hunt, got to level 79. I hope you enjoyed this video and the series. Please leave a like and subscribe. See you later, noobs. Welcome to the 7th and second last episode of Noob to Pro, or level 0 to 100 in Tower Defense Simulator. I have a few things for the second last episode. Yes. First off, I decided to try speed on all game modes with the accelerator just to see what fast times I could get. And then attempted a few more tries in beating Fallen Mode Badlands and getting the Cowboy. So let us start off with the solo speedruns. For the most part, the loadouts will always include Accelerator, DJ, Farm, Commander and Ace Pilot, although for normal mode I replace Ace to Crook Boss. Let us start with normal mode. I will put texts and highlights of what I have done. Now I have tried to do solo hardcore runs with the accelerator, however I keep failing. I was too lazy to find a way, but apparently you can reach wave 50 in hardcore solo if you do it right, and I do have the means to do it since I have all the towers needed, but not the strategy. Now let us go to the second last session of the video, the Badlands attempt. My best Badlands attempt yet in the series here was reaching wave 30, losing to none other than the tank. This issue was mainly due to the fact we all focused so much on farming and lack of defense, so lesson learned, do not over-farm especially if the map is so hard. As usual, it is time for the recap of all matches done in the second last episode of the series. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Tomorrow I shall be releasing the finale to the series where I will finally reach level 100. Molten Triumph, Normal Mode Lost Wave 22, Fallen Mode Lost, Molten Triumph, Duck Hunt Lost, Normal Mode Win, Fallen Mode Win, Molten Triumph, Molten Triumph, Hardcore Mode Lost Wave 7, Fallen Mode Win, Fallen Mode Wave 40 Lost, Hardcore Lost Wave 22, Hardcore Lost Wave 22, Molten Triumph, Hardcore Lost Wave 22, Teleport Failed, Molten Triumph, Hardcore Lost Wave 22, Hardcore Lost Wave 22, Hardcore Lost Wave 20, Hardcore Lost Wave 22. Hardcore Lost Wave 22. Hardcore Lost Wave 22. Molten Triumph. Hardcore Lost Wave 22. Fallen Mode Lost. Molten Triumph. Molten Triumph. Molten Triumph. Fallen Mode Lost. Fallen Mode Win. Molten Triumph. Disconnected. Molten Triumph. Molten Triumph. Molten Triumph. Fallen Triumph. Molten Triumph. Molten Triumph. Hardcore Lost Wave 15. Hardcore Lost Wave 15. Hardcore Lost Wave 12. Hardcore Lost Wave 14. Hardcore Lost Wave 13. Hardcore Lost Wave 15. Hardcore Lost Wave 12. Hardcore Lost Wave 12. Hardcore Lost Wave 15. Hardcore Lost Wave 12. Hardcore Lost Wave 22. Molten Triumph. Fallen Mode Lost. Fallen Triumph. Hardcore Lost Wave 22. Hardcore Lost Wave 12. Molten Triumph. Molten Triumph. Fallen Lost. Fallen Lost. Molten Triumph. Hardcore Lost Wave 12. Hardcore Lost Wave 22. Fallen Lost Wave 31. Fallen Win on Badlands. Reaching level 91. 9 more levels to go. See you tomorrow. Welcome to the 8th and final episode of Noob to Pro, or Level 0 to 100 in Tower Defense Simulator. Wow, it has been quite a long journey, but it seems that now I am just less than 10 levels away from the big 100. So now I shall finish the last challenges left, which is to gain a golden crate and beat hardcore mode. So you might first off wonder why yesterday I decided to get the cowboy. To be honest, I don't know, but I linked the strategy below of how we defeated it. Now let us talk about the golden crate. When the episode started, I essentially started off at 40,000 coins, meaning for 10 more thousand I needed to beat Molten Mode at least 20 times. Using my latest strategy with the E-Accelerator and not the one made by Egripted, this took me one day in real life, including sleep and breaks. Can you guess which tower I got? I will give you 6 seconds to guess. Okay, so 6 seconds has passed. Time to unbox and unveil the mystery. That is right, I got the Golden Mini, which is among the top 3 of the best skins in Tower Defense Simulator. In my main account I first got Gold Cowboy, then Gold Minigunner, which is also considered really good. Now you might wonder, am I planning to give away this Outtro account? The answer is, I am not sure, but if in the future I make a video titled giving away a level 100 TDS account, then you will know by then, but for now I am still considering it. If you would like it given away, be sure to comment below. Anyways, how good is Gold Mini? I would say for its early levels it is better than normal Mini when it comes between price and DPS improvement, but from there on it is meh. Out of all gold skins, I guess you could say this is the best. There are some other options you may like, but if you get this the first try you are in huge luck. Now for the final session of the entire series, not counting the recap of all matches, trying to beat hardcore mode. Previously I have tried using the dedication strategy, but we kept losing, so instead I tried using the psyche strategy. The strat that got me to do something really amazing on the first try of trying it too. I will just let the clip run and you will see. So yes, if you want to know how I defeated hardcore mode, the strat link is in the description too. Now for the final true session of the entire series that took me 2 months, or really 3.5 days not counting breaks or sleeps to finish. The recap of the match is done in this episode. Molten Triumph, Fallen Triumph, Fallen Triumph, Molten Triumph, Molten Triumph, Molten Triumph, Hardcore Lost Wave 23, Molten Triumph, Fallen Lost, Molten Triumph, 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 Fallen Triumph, Fallen Triumph, Fallen Triumph, Molten Triumph, Fallen Lost, Fallen Lost, Duck Hunt Lost, Molten Triumph, Molten Triumph, Molten Lost, Molten Triumph, Fallen Triumph, Molten Triumph, Fallen Triumph, Fallen Lost, Fallen Lost, Fallen Lost, Fallen Lost, Fallen Lost, Fallen Lost, Fallen Triumph, Hardcore Triumph, Hardcore Triumph, Hardcore Lost Wave 25, Hardcore Lost. Then I reached the big 100 leagues. Also after that I still decided to end the series on a high note, and that is via beating Hardcore mode once more.